Okay.
Well,
So we're
welcome
here
to the
now.
second day of Cringemas.
Yes. We were going to go over what Reckless Trucker was going to post because hopefully he's okay and everything, but we haven't heard from him today for the 12 days of Cringemas, so we're just going to talk about what his video idea was.
Right. So about a week ago, he kind of gave me this rant that what his topic basically is. We called it lying liberals, but what he wants to discuss is that basically he feels that the Democrat Party is misrepresenting itself to the African American community, and that it doesn't really represent their interests. His theory, I'm phrasing this my own way, that's a little bit more, might actually stand more of a chance of getting across, I think. I'm being a shade more politically correct than he would be, but I'm not a very politically correct person, and neither is this topic.
Yeah, he would probably put the N-word in there a few times.
No, he wouldn't have gone that level, but
okay, so
but anyway,
what was...
but his basic thing is that he thinks that the African American community is a lot more conservative and a lot more Christian. Is a lot more conservative, a lot more Christian, and that that doesn't necessarily get reflected by the Democrat Party. You know, that there's a lot of I mean, he was just kind of point blank that, you know, there's a lot of what the left would call homophobia in the Black community.
Oh yeah.
That there's a lot of concern from Black moms about what their kids get up to, quote unquote, acting a fool.
Well, yeah, because like you got the issue with a lot of these late teenager gangbanger leader guys who will come out and try and recruit kids who are like 14 and stuff, and like
right.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, that I don't know that Trucker would be necessarily addressing, that kind of fits into his theme though, is just this whole idea that I mean, to bring up Black Lives Matter, a lot of people aren't aware that while they do, they kind of have a two-faced thing where they go and say, oh, well, we can't address Black on Black crime because we're just about the one issue of cop violence against the African American community. And then they go in here and do all of this stuff where they're like, but part of the BLM platform is that, you know, we have to boycott, divest, and sanction when it comes to Israel in order to support Palestine. And then they go in here and they say, oh, yes, and we also have to do a lot of LGBTQ stuff. And it's like, but most of the African American community is unaware that funds that BLM has are going to LGBTQ stuff and are going towards Palestine versus Israel stuff. And that's not just sticking to that one issue. So that's a bit dishonest. I mean, I'm not saying it's necessarily, you know, I mean, regardless of what your sides on those issues are, even if like I'm generally I'm pro LGBT, but not like the crazy like Tumblr levels of the community. But it's kind of like one of those things where, you know, even if you're pro that, it's very dishonest for them to say that this is our one issue when no, it's not.
I'm kind of tired
and I don't think a lot of people in the Black community who support some of these things that are going on the left really understand. Like, I mean, not in a way of saying like they can't understand or anything. It's just a matter of they haven't looked deeply enough into it because, you know, they're just trying to live their lives. They're just trying to get by, keep it real, do their thing. You do you. And it's like these other people are using them and they get used enough. You know? So I feel like that's kind of somewhat making Trucker's case for him probably very differently than he would.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have anything to throw in on this, Chair?
not really, only because I'm not really well that versed in the
Black community. Trucker says this is kind of near and dear to him because he has a tendency to date African American women. And for the Tumblr crowd, I'm sure that's not because of any kind of fetishization. It's just he thinks y'all are pretty. in
Yeah.
his own terms and in his own accent,
Yep.
because he's from Texas.
So basically, his whole point was about misrepresentation of the Black community for what they stand for and what they don't.
Well, that not it was more that the DNC misrepresents itself to the Black community, and some of these left wing interests misrepresent themselves to the Black community, and how much they do and don't help.
Yeah, because like I thought it was the weirdest thing during the election when like all the rock guys were like pro Trump, and then all the rap guys were pro Hillary, and I'm like, what the hell?
But yeah, it's kind of one of those things where, yeah. Anyway, I just hope that Trucker's well wherever he is. You know, I mean, he's a trucker, so he's everywhere. And last I heard, he was on some highway in Kentucky. So that was like 3 days ago, and all his social media seems to have gone dark in the last 3 days. So I hope he's okay, that he didn't like turn over a truck and wind up in a hospital somewhere. For anybody concerned about him, there's like, for the people who know who he is, it's like there's been no like obits or anything. So we know he's okay. We just don't know where he is. We have a missing person YouTuber.
Yeah.
So hopefully wherever you are, you're okay, man. You started this whole project, so we owe it all to you. But you know, I hope you're okay. I hope you see this, and that you come back and you make your own video for it, and we put it in the second day slot for you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Alrighty. So there's the second day, and we're looking forward to the third day tomorrow. So we'll see what comes out of that video.
Yep. Take care, everyone.
So, yep. Bye.